Let us first talk about the processes involved in securing the Elumelu Foundation Entrepreneurship Programs grants. There are 7 processes, there are 7 phases, there are 7 things you must do before you will be allowed the grant. The first thing is the application. The application process is what you must have done. I believe everybody watching this video has applied. The application window is always open 1st of January to the 31st of March every year. That's the first thing you need to do to submit your application. Then you will be shortlisted into the program. After the application, the next thing is the training and quiz, which has started. It started on the 25th of April 2022. The training has started. After the training, the next thing is due diligence. I will explain that to you in due course. Then, aside the due diligence, the next thing is submission of business plan. After the submission of business plan, pitching. After pitching, selection and announcement. After selection and announcement, then disbursement, which is the final phase of the program. Now, let me quickly talk about the training, because that is one of the most important aspects of this program, and that's the phase we are as I speak. That's the phase that is ongoing currently. The training and the quiz. The training is divided into 2 parts. The first part is business management training. The second part is the TOE way. The business management training for this year is subdivided into 9 modules. You have the first module, that's module 1, module 2 to module 9. From module 1 to module 8, you have multiple choice questions of 10, where you have to answer and you will see your grade instantly. These questions comes immediately after studying the materials. Now, after this training and you've taken your quiz, then you will now be graded. After you've been graded, then you will now be moved to the business plan, from the submission of business plan to the pitching stage. But there is something I want to talk about. I will talk about how they calculate your grade and how it affects your chances of getting this funding. But before that, let us look at the criteria for funding. You have to look at these criteria because it's very important, it's necessary. This is the only thing you need to know so that you'll be sure of getting funding or not. What are the criteria? The first thing you need to understand is gender diversity. Gender diversity, that means the program will not be for only men, that is male. It will not also be for only female, that is the women. The foundation will try as much as it can to spread this between these 2 genders. As a matter of fact, last year the females has a greater percentage of the grant than male. Male was just about 30%. 30% of the winners were male, while the rest were female. That's for last year. And this day, nobody knows. No coach to deceive you. Nobody knows at the moment. Nobody knows. Now, another thing you need to understand is regional diversity. What is regional diversity? I will explain it in a very simple terms. We all know that Nigerians are always Nigerians have the highest percentage of the application. Most of the applicants are from Nigeria. In fact, in a particular year, over 70% of the applicants comes from Nigeria. So what that means is greater percentage of the applications comes from Nigeria. So if the foundation should just generalize it, the 4,949 entrepreneurs got their funding last year, majority should have come from Nigeria. Let me not use majority, but over 70% should have come from Nigeria. But what the foundation do is the foundation spread it to contain all the 54 African countries. On the list, you will always see that all the 54 African countries are represented, whether they do well or not. So what regional diversity should teach you is the foundation shares this slot. If the foundation, hopefully we are expecting that the foundation should fund at least 5,000 businesses this year. That's 5,000 entrepreneurs, at least. So if the foundation is funding 5,000 entrepreneurs this day, they will share this slot into all the 54 African countries based on the performance from the countries and also based on the number of applications that come from there. So now, if in Nigeria, they assigned 1,500 slots to Nigeria, because last year over 1,500 was given to Nigeria, or 1,500 Nigerians were selected. Let's put it that way. So if 1,500 persons will be selected in Nigeria, they are selecting the best 1,500. So even if the 1,501 person, the next person has done so well than somebody in another country, they will not select that person. They are only selecting the best 1,500 from a particular country, and the next country, even if they have done so poorly, they will still select person from that country, whether the performance is poor or high. So that is why you see some entrepreneurs that did excellently well in a particular country, they did not get the seed capital, but someone that did it, that their years or performance was on an average in a particular country, gets the grant. Is because of regional diversity. The next thing I will talk about is partners' interest. Over the years, we've observed that agriculture always top the list of entrepreneurs, of industries that are funded. We always say agriculture. The reason is simple. The foundation itself is funding only 1,000 entrepreneurs, while the foundation also work with other foundations and donors. We have other foundations that are partnering with Elumelu Foundation Entrepreneurship Program. They are partnering with Elumelu Foundation to fund African entrepreneurs. We have UNDP, we also have African Development Bank. So now, the interest of these other foundations that are partnering with the Elumelu Foundation also matters. UNDP can say, I'm sponsoring, they can say they are sponsoring 1,000 persons too under the Elumelu Foundation Entrepreneurship Program. But these 1,000 persons should be in the agricultural sector. So they are funding 1,000 entrepreneurs in the agricultural sector. So by that, you already know that people in the agricultural sector already have an edge over people in other sectors. I'm not saying it is peculiar to agricultural sector. There are other partners that have different interests, different visions, different focuses. They work in line with their organization's thematic area. That is what you also need to understand, these criteria. So even if you are doing well in a particular sector, you are doing well in a particular region, and you did so well, better than the next person in a different region, the persons might have his or her chance of might gain or might receive funding, while you will not. It depends on your gender, it depends on your region, and it also depends on the industry. That's a type of business. That is that. Aside the criteria, the question is, since they are selecting persons from all the countries, irrespective of the region, they are selecting persons from all the 54 countries. They are also selecting entrepreneurs, they are funding entrepreneurs from all the industries. They are also funding the both genders. What should I do to be among those that they will fund? That should be the question. And what should you do? That's what I want to talk about now. The first thing you need to do is what you've done. You've applied and you've been selected for the funding. The second thing you need to do is to complete your tax. Yes, complete your tax. The training is ongoing. You need to complete your tax. You don't just need to attend the quiz, get good grades, and that's all. No, the grade is important, but also completing of tax is very important. Now, what do I mean by completing your tax? When you log in, if you check the left-hand corner of your screen, maybe your computer, you always see what looks like table of contents. You see module 1, module 2, module 3, and all that. Now, after watching the video, some persons go back to the table of content to move to the next module. No. Perhaps after taking the quiz, some persons go back to the table of content to move to the next video. No. Use the go to next lesson button that is immediately below the video. It will now take you to the text, what is in that text, that PowerPoint presentation, what is in that text is the same with what is in the video. You choose the one that is convenient for you. Once you are done with that, it will now tick completed. That is when the system will tick completed. They've completed that very task. Otherwise, you will complete everything and the dashboard will still be showing 57% completed. It will still be showing less than 100, something less than 100% completed. But if you make use of the go to next lesson button, they will give you a green tick indicating that you've completed the task. Very important. The next thing is having good grades in your quiz. Very important. Having good grades in your quiz. I think members of my masterclass are doing pretty well. They're having hundreds, and in few cases they had 90%. This is very important. Now, after that, let me tell you one important thing that you need to know. Training Elumelu Foundation Entrepreneurship Program is not an achievement test. It is a ranking-based test. What do I mean by an achievement test? Back then, when we were in school, running for our bachelor's degree, they told you if you have 70%, you have an A. That is distinction. So even if 1,000 persons have 70%, they will still award the 1,000 persons the great distinction because it has been earmarked for that. But a ranking-based test, what TEF is doing is, if they are taking 1,500 persons from Nigeria, they are selecting only the top 1,500. If they are selecting 100 persons, perhaps they are selecting 100 males from South Africa. They are selecting only the top 100. Even if everybody in South Africa did pretty well than other countries, they are selecting only the top 100. So you need to strive to be at the top 10% in your industry and in your region. Perhaps they can say they're selecting 1,000 from Ghana. Let's say that. And out of the 1,000, they're selecting 500 from the agricultural industry. Now, you need to be at the top 10 in agriculture and also top 10 in Ghana generally. That is only when you are securing your spots. Now, they will grade you by they will find an average. That is the eighth quiz that we take from the training. The sum total of all their score, they will be divided by the total number of the modules. Then they get an average. Most students of my masterclass are having an average of 90 and that. Now, away from that, your score alone will not help you. They will calculate that and keep. They will now grade you by your business plan, join it together, and people that are at the top of your industry and your region will be selected to move to the pitching. That's the pitching phase of the program. So what you need to do is to do everything possible. The first thing you need to do now is to ensure you have a good grade. While you work on your business plan, wait for the template. Now, when the template comes, you have to present a bankable business plan. It is this bankable business plan. The business plan will be graded. They will now join it to your quiz score, the average of your quiz score. Then the business plan grade and the quiz score, they will now find an average. Then people at the top will be selected. I just pray you are one of those that will be selected. The final stage of it is pitching. You will make a video of yourself and do that. And so upload. I will not talk much about pitching now because before we get to that stage, I will also give a video that will guide you through. The only thing you need to do is to subscribe to this channel. From time to time, I will be dropping videos that will help you throughout this program. Feel free to contact us. Our WhatsApp contact digits is available in the description of this video.